Ice Age: The Adventures of Buck Wild is the new property in the Ice Age franchise, which is apparently owned by Disney now. They keep winning. They just keep winning. Anyway, it's a film. It's an hour. It's over an hour. You know, there's moving pictures. There's frames in a second. You can watch it, and then time will have passed. But there are many things that it's not. It's not an adventure. It's not very Buck Wild, and it's definitely not an Ice Age film. To clarify, these are a series of character cards that, you know, I've used in a previous Ice Age video. So I won't be needing this, I won't be needing this, I won't need that, I won't need this. Fucking Scrat's not in it. Don't need that, don't need that, don't need that, don't need that. I don't have a Diego anymore, do I? Right, imagine this one's Diego. Oh, just... Yeah. It's just not an Ice Age film. It doesn't follow any of the core tenets of an Ice Age film. Earlier, I was going to make a video about a potential Ice Age 6 and how it would work, because the Ice Age movies have a very amusing, escalating series of points. For example, the first Ice Age film is just a weird, little film about just this mammoth and some found family, and they get this dumb little child to its parents. In the fifth movie, there's a space asteroid, and they have to use the power of magnetism and a volcano to launch it back into space. It's insane. And in each film, the cast grows ever wider. Ice Age: Adventures of Buck Wild focuses entirely on Crash and Eddie. People who, by the way, they should be like 1 million by now, because they are, the same age as Ellie. Possums do not live that long. I don't know how they're still alive. Ellie is a grandmother at this point. No, she's not. Peaches isn't in it though. Peaches is the age to be a mother. There was a whole conflict in the fifth movie that Ellie didn't think Peaches was ready to be a mother, but she was. Anyway, it's just... Let me explain the plot as fast as possible, and every chance you'll see what is wrong with this as an Ice Age movie. Or maybe you won't, because you're not as invested, and if you aren't as invested, go away. You're not allowed to watch this video. So, the film starts with Manny, Diego, and Sid, and Crash and Eddie, and that's it. So, first of all, there's the obvious problem. Where the fuck is the insane Ice Age cast? That's what I come here for. In the first film, there's a cast of 3. In the fifth film, there's a cast of 20. That's what I want. The ever-expanding cast. Characters being introduced, shipped together, introduced, having children, spawning an infinite family tree. This is, one of the core tenets of Ice Age, the found family trope. And there's just none of them. Like, some of them I can maybe give a pass to. Like, Granny went away to be immortal at the end of the last one. But they can find a way to bring them back. They brought Buck back. That was the greatest decision, in my opinion, in the fifth film. To think we have a character that's not in the fourth film. That's one less character. So they just brought him back. But, and Peaches... I don't know, I guess she left to start a new family? No, dumb. She should have a child, and the child should also be here. Okay? Because this film has to be set at the latest point in the timeline, but I don't know where everyone is. Where is Shira? She's just not in the film. There's no explanation. Diego's just, did she break up with him for no reason? Like, explain why you removed this character canonically. Was the voice actor too expensive? Probably. None of the characters have the same voice actors. It's jarring. So why want the same voice actor for She-Ra? You can just hire literally anyone else. Everyone else has a different voice actor apart from Buck, I think. And then at the start of the film, Crash and Eddie are running around and they want to be childish because they're still children for some reason. They are as old as Ellie, but she treats them like they're her children because they act like they're 10. But anyway, they want to be independent. They're like, we should have our own lives. We should go out and have adventures. And then they fall into the underground, and Buck's there. And Buck's like, what are you two doing here in the underground? And they're like, we want to be independent and cool like you. And Buck's like, oh, okay. But there's the bad guy, and the bad guy is he's smart. He's a dinosaur, but he's intelligent. And this is what his character design looks like. He's a big brain. And he controls the other dinosaurs with fire because he's smart and he knows how to use fire. And Dr. Big Brain and Buck have this rapport, they've known each other for a super long time, and they've been at war. Like, he's been guarding the mammals of the dinosaur world. What fucking mammals? Since when were there mammals in the It's the dinosaur world. You're the only mammal. That's why Buck's cool. He's just chilling there. He makes friends with a dinosaur, and he has an arch nemesis ship with a giant fucking T-Rex. Why is this smart guy doing anything to you? You just fucking stab him. He's just a little dinosaur man. Anyway, so apparently he's between the events of the third film, where the herd befriended him, and this film. No, between the events of the fifth film and this film, presumably, because he was in the fifth film and he wouldn't mention this stuff. He formed a superhero group with a bunch of other mammals who lived in the underground, and then they all died, apart from him and Z, who's this other one who's a girl, and she's a skunk. And she uses stink powers to knock people out. And she makes fun of him for not having powers? Like, what? You don't have powers, you just have like a natural bodily response. And it's not a very good one. I don't know, she's, is she a love interest for Buck? I'm down with that, Extend the cast infinitely. I don't mind there being a new character. I'm glad. These one of the only good things about the film, because she's a new character, and adding new characters to films is vastly important for the Ice Age series. Anyway, Dr. Big Brain he talks about how he's smart, and the movie, I don't know if the movie tries to portray him as smart, but he never does anything smart. Like, he figures out, hey, these dinosaurs, if I light a fire, they'll do what I say. And it's like, okay, is he smart for figuring it out? He kind of did it by accident, as we find out later in the film. He just kind of, they were attacking him, and he lit a fire by mistake, and then they were like, yo, fire. So I don't know why he's smart for that. And he keeps saying, my superior intellect has always ostracized me. And it's like, no, you're ostracized because you keep saying your superior intellect exists. You just got a dumb-looking head. Anyway, Crash and Eddie and are being irresponsible and just fucking around. And Buck and Z have to make sure they don't get murdered by dinosaurs, whilst also trying to fight Dr. Big Brain. That's not his name. There's no way that's his name. I'm not Googling his name, though, so that's what I'm calling him. At some point, these guys fall into the underground. They're just super out of character. Okay, they're not super out of character. Sid's super out of character. Sid keeps saying, oh, they're not here. They probably all died. What? That's so weird. Why would Sid say that? At least right there. It's, like, no, why would they be dead? It's just like, we should stop looking. They're probably already dead. Anyway, they all go into the underground and they come to help. And then, in the big climax of the film, the bad guy, he captures Buck. He sacrifices himself to save them. He's like, oh, you go, and he cuts a rope or something, and then a bunch of dinosaurs capture him, and then he's in his cage, and they ride a boat, and Crash and Eddie use their special power of playing dead, and they're like, oh, we're not cowards after all. They use fire, and the fire makes the dinosaurs copy them, so they use fire, and then they play dead, and then all the dinosaurs play dead, so they don't do anything. That's a plot point that's in the film. I can't speak to its quality, but that is what happens in the film. There are just so many problems with this film, as a film and as an Ice Age property. Because Ice Age films aren't good, but at least they're entertaining. There are so many problems with the film. A big one, it just looks like shit. Like, I wouldn't criticize this, but it looks like a fucking video game cutscene, and I don't know why. It was bought by they were bought by Disney. They have what should it not look better? But no, a lot of it is the dinosaurs. Like, the T-Rex shows up. There's one scene that just looks. I looked at it, I was like, why is this a video game cutscene? And then the plot is just, it's so detached from any Ice Age plotline. Ice Age is a metaphor, the movies are a metaphor for natural horror, extinction. Each film has a theme of extinction. The first one is about the humans and the Ice Age, and the humans nearly get wiped out by the tigers. You know, they get hunted nearly to extinction. In the second one, there's a meltdown, the end of the Ice Age, the habitat is destroyed, and they have to migrate or else they'll face extinction. In the third one, they fall into the underground world, and there are dinosaurs, which would upend the world as they know it, and cause extinction. In the fourth one, continental drift, the world splits apart, natural disasters like earthquakes and, you know, continental drift, and potential extinction. And in the fifth one, a fucking meteorite comes down to Earth, and if it hits the ground, extinction. It's a simple, you know, structured premise. And in all of them, there is also a secondary villain, the one who exploits natural disaster, the one who tries to wring some benefit out of the misfortune of others. In the first one, it's the tigers who, you know, try and hunt the humans and the baby. In the second one, it's the vultures who want to, you know, eat everyone once they die. In the third one, well, really is a dinosaur. He's kind of like the bad guy of that film. In the fourth one, it's the pirates who try and take advantage of the fact that they don't have a boat. And in the fifth one, the fucking birds try and kill everyone, and they're like, oh, if we kill everyone, we can fly over the meteor, and then we'll survive. But in this film, the bad guy is some smart dinosaur. There's no point. He's not backed by natural disaster. The dinosaurs can't get back into the normal world. It's been blocked with like a massive boulder, so the dinosaurs couldn't escape if they wanted to. And mammals live down in the underground now, so like it's not like they're two separate worlds anymore. Now the underground's kind of just a place where people go. So there's no natural conflict. Where's the heart? Where's the dramatic through line. And then, of course, character. There's problems in all sorts of ways with the character. The amount of characters is too low. Where is Peaches? Where is Peaches' boyfriend, Johnny? Where is Scrat? They took fucking Scrat. They de-scratted my fucking Ice Age. Where is Scrat? He's supposed to be the cause of the inciting incident. He just puts his little nut in the ground and it causes the country to split apart. I'm like, haha, it's Scrat. He caused the drama and now they have to face it. And they don't even know. They think it's God who faced them. But it's all Scrat's fault and that's so funny. But instead, he's gone. He's dead. Where is Scrat? What have you done with him? Why did Disney kill Scrat? Disney killed Scrat. No one's talking about it, but Disney murdered Scrat. Probably because no one has seen or gives a single shit about this film. But I know about it now, and I care that they killed Scrat. I don't know where Shira is. I don't think it makes sense that she's just not in this film. Like, Granny, I can give a pass to. Peaches, I can give a pass to. Sid's boyfriend, like, Brooke? I don't know where she went. Maybe she died. You know, it was never explained how she was still immortal after the meteorite left. But where is Shira? Where did she go? She had an arc in the previous film. Every character... Then there's character... This film follows two characters. This film just follows Crash and Eddie and their journey to become more, like, fleshed out people. And all the other characters are, like, there to help them with that goal. That's not how you do Ice Age characters. Characters should be developing too much all the time. Every single character should have their own little conflict, and there are too many characters. It should take... You should forget what everyone's trying to do mid-scene. Like in the fifth film, like reading out... So first of all, overall, everyone doesn't want to die. Buck wants to keep the animals safe from the meteorite. Buck also wants to keep secret that he's being hunted by these birds which are hunting him down. Buck also wants to return to his land underground when this is all done. So he's like kind of distracted. Manny wants to stop the meteorite, but he also wants to show like his son-in-law how to not be a loser and how to play sports and get him into being a cool guy. Ellie is distracted by wanting Peaches to not leave the home and become a mother because she thinks she's not ready yet. And Peaches just wants to start a family. Crash and Eddie don't really have any point. Sid wants a girlfriend. Shira and Diego don't like the kids don't like them because they're scary. Scrat wants his nut. That's not even all the characters in that film. They all have some random shit going on, and they will all have that somehow resolved by this random plot event. No character has any arc in this film. That's not what you're supposed to do. Why didn't Manny like have a whole thing where he wanted to paint, and the Crash and Eddie took his paints with him to the underground world, and also the underground world was a rift in space-time that they had to close, and at the end of the film he'd use his painting skills to paint over the rift in space-time, or something like that. It should be ridiculous. This is a side note, but the Ice Age 6, the real Ice Age 6, the natural disaster should be a crack in the space-time continuum, and it should involve multiversal shenanigans where this film is put into non-canon by making it an alternate reality. Just saying. There's another big problem with this film. And it's that Buck is not insane. And that is the most disgusting slight against real fans of this franchise than I have ever seen. Buck has like 4 crazy moments, and they're all just carryovers from previous films. And that is enraging. Like, in the first film, Buck could have just fucking, like, walked into a dinosaur's mouth at any moment, and we would have batted an eye, because he was just that fucking insane. Like, the fact he was helping us was tangential. He could do anything he wanted at any moment. He could just leave. And that made us enthralled with him. He talked to his hand as if it was a different person. He was married to a pineapple. An ugly pineapple. That's just who he was. In this film, he just lives in like a bachelor pad underground, and he's a superhero. And all his friends died because he wasn't good at teamwork, which is an insanely like dark plot line. Like his friends all got murdered by this dinosaur because he wasn't a good enough leader and teammate. I don't have anything else to say about Ice Age Adventures of Buck Wild, but don't watch it. It doesn't deserve it.